It is demo day, and today we are looking at an app called Keeper, the sponsor of this video. I'm running these demo days each Wednesday now to give you a deeper look into some of the most popular tools in our space, because I know what a pain it is to get on 100 sales calls. Think of all these people beating down your door. You get it. Okay, Keeper, honestly a super novel app in our space. I produced a commercial for them last year. That's where you're seeing me here. I have no other affiliation with them besides them sponsoring this video. It is everything you need to manage your month-end close in a single place, but that's just what the landing page says. Let's look at the real deal. Let's get up to our elbows in the meat and potatoes here. Okay, we are now inside Keeper. We have hacked into the mainframe. This is the view from within a company. You see Demo Co up there in the top left. This is your starting point. All you do, you connect a QuickBooks file, you connect a Xero file. There's some sorcery that happens, and then you're here. This is the default starting point for the recurring tasks you will see for each monthly close, but you can also customize this both at the client and the firm levels. But some examples of what's happening here. Let's take a look at transaction review, expense inconsistency. So what this one's doing is it's looking at all the transactions from the current month and comparing how it was coded, both the account and the vendor, to past examples of the same transactions. It's doing all that for you and only flagging the ones that are looking different. So here's an example of Zoom getting pulled into office supplies, the anything goes account in every good chart of accounts, right? You can see here, it's almost always being put into software, so that's probably not right. Now to correct it, is all I gotta do. Just click in here, put the actual software account. That was it. Now let's just acknowledge the wild things that are happening right here. You're not in the accounting file right now, buddy. Look to your left, look to your right, you're in Keeper. When you found that issue, you didn't have to hop into the accounting ledger to make a fix. Just type it right in there. It's not like the ledger where you drill into the transaction and then you do the thing and then you edit and then it pulls the thing down and then you just pop the right account in there and it's just gonna magically sync that stuff back to the ledger. And to me, that's the real beauty of Keeper, is you manage everything basically through the bank account reconciliation in the ledger. Then after that, for all of your clients, those month-end closes are managed in a single place inside of Keeper. Now, a lovely gift for the folks in the US. Here in the land of the free, our Januaries are anything but free because we are chasing people for 1099 info. And you're always like, well, next year we'll get prepared early. We'll get the W9s during, and you never do. And you never will, because it's always the last thing to do on your list. What would you say though if I told you that Keeper will do that for you? This is all of my clients' vendors in descending order of total spend. You'll notice it's excluding credit card spend and is only showing those that meet the 1099 threshold and is excluding those in non-reportable accounts. That is the type of payments that you wouldn't issue a 1099 for. Now from this view, you can see their email, their address, a tax ID, a status of whether they need a 1099, because isn't that fun every year? Going and figuring out which companies need 1099s when you know you just did the exact same thing for those companies the previous year, only to find out that they're an S-Corp and you get it. And you can attach any related files here as well. Now, if you need a W9 from them, straight from this view, you can either request it from the client or even request it directly from the vendor. And if you do request it from the vendor, this is what it looks like. You can either just do a little file upload. They can just give you a W9 if they've got one handy, or there's even a little like simplified web form version where they can complete that. They can e-sign it, and when they do, it's gonna push an e-signed Form W9 back into Keeper just like that. Don't act like you're not impressed. Now, what about when you got like an uncategorized transaction, you don't know what to do with it? I'll show you that. Okay, come up here to uncategorized transactions. It's gonna show you everything parked in uncategorized. All I gotta do, come over here, click the little button under Ask Client. You can either type in a custom question or you can choose from any of the templated questions. I'm just gonna pick the templated one, push it out to their portal, and they're gonna get a notification. Over on their side, this is what it looks like. You'll see there's transaction questions and non-transaction questions. If we drill into transaction questions, this is what they see. There's gonna be a list of all those transactions. They can add comments, upload files. Sidebar, whole bunch of other things you can do in this portal here. You can publish financials to the client. You can just like manage files in general, give them access to other resources like maybe firm resources. It is all white labeled, so it looks like it's coming from you, straight down to custom domains. But now if we pop back into Keeper to see what that client's response was, we see that just came straight through. Bippity boppity boo, we coded to workers' comp and you are skirting home into the driveway and time for dinner. Okay, I wanna show you financial statements. We are cruising past so many cool like quality assurance things that they do. actually really cool AI stuff. But let's look at financials because you can review all that stuff in here as well. So here's a full-blown P&L, and it'll automatically flag stuff that looks out of whack, just like you do skimming a set of financials in the ledger. But check this out, if there's an issue, you can drill down and it will subtotal the account activity by vendor so that you can immediately see where the change came from. Why does my ledger not do that? Like it's just better. But of course you can still go even further, enhance. From there you can recode it right there, like we did on the Zoom transaction. You can chat with your team about it or ask the client. Now, once you have finished that review, you can actually publish your financials to the portal, along with a bunch of other cool stuff like KPIs, an executive summary, some pretty pictures. Look at you looking smart. But okay, admittedly, here is my favorite part of Keeper. Let's zoom out, de-hance. Check out this dashboard view. Pause the video. Don't pause the video, you won't be able to hear what I'm saying. You know that client view that we just got? That's what you get when you drill into one of these rows. Enhance, this one. Okay, de-hance. Gang, this is the status of all of your monthly closes. Look at the columns here. Last month closed, outstanding client questions. Look at that, 5 to 7. Outstanding vendor questions. All that stuff in one place. You hecking me? You know how much work it is to get all this stuff in one place? Of how many years, my fresh-cheeked accounting associate life I wasted just trying to figure out what to even work on? Just like that, all in one place. This is hands down my favorite part of Keeper, the simplicity of this view. Pretty rad, right? There you have it, super unique tool Keeper is. Learn more about Keeper, check out the link in the video description. Thanks again to them for sponsoring this video. And check out this playlist where we go through some of the most popular apps in the space, actually getting down into the nitty gritty, actually using, not just talking about them. We're getting in, we're pushing buttons.